Most drivers think saving fuel means driving slower or spending money on upgrades. But what if I told you your car is already designed to burn less fuel, and you're just not using it properly? Every time you drive, your car is making small decisions: how much fuel to inject, how hard the engine should work, when to shift, when to stop, and even when to save energy. The problem is, most drivers unknowingly work against these systems instead of with them. And that's the reason why two identical cars can have completely different fuel consumption, even when they're driven the same distance. In the next few minutes, you're going to discover 10 built-in systems your car already has that can quietly reduce fuel consumption, if you understand how to use them correctly. And stay till the end, because the last system doesn't just save fuel, it actually drives more efficiently than most people ever can. Now, before we get into this, tell me one thing. Which car do you drive? Drop it in the comments, and I'll tell you one interesting fuel-saving hack specifically for your car. I'll try to reply to as many as I can. Let's start with something almost everyone uses, but almost no one uses properly. 10. Cooling your cabin is quietly increasing engine load. Most drivers assume that using air conditioning naturally increases fuel consumption, but the real issue is not the system itself. It is how it is being used during normal driving. When fresh air mode is active, your vehicle constantly pulls hot air from outside and forces the AC system to cool it repeatedly. This creates a continuous cycle where the compressor has to work harder than necessary, increasing the load on the engine. That additional load directly translates into higher fuel consumption, even though the change is not immediately noticeable from the driver's seat. When you switch to recirculation mode, the system begins reusing already cooled air from inside the cabin instead of processing hot external air again. This reduces the effort required to maintain temperature and allows the compressor to operate more efficiently. According to energy efficiency principles, cooling preconditioned air requires less energy than cooling hot incoming air repeatedly. What makes this important is that comfort remains unchanged while engine strain decreases. You are not sacrificing anything. You are simply removing unnecessary work from the system. Many drivers overlook this because the effect builds gradually rather than instantly. And once you notice how a small setting can change engine workload so easily, it becomes important to understand what happens when your car is using fuel without moving at all. 9. Standing still is one of the most expensive driving moments. At a red light, everything appears calm. No movement, no acceleration, no visible effort. But internally, your engine is still consuming fuel continuously, even though it is producing no forward motion. This is one of the least efficient states for any vehicle. In urban driving conditions, where stops are frequent, this wasted fuel accumulates over time. Start-stop systems were introduced to eliminate this exact inefficiency. Instead of allowing the engine to idle, the system temporarily shuts it off and restarts it when needed. Many drivers disable this feature because it feels unfamiliar or slightly uncomfortable, but modern vehicles are specifically engineered to handle these repeated cycles without causing damage. Fuel economy data clearly confirms that idling consumes fuel without contributing to distance traveled. A driver I spoke with used to turn this feature off every day without thinking about it. After leaving it active for a week in heavy traffic, he noticed a consistent improvement in fuel usage without changing anything else. That's when it becomes clear. The system is solving a problem most drivers don't even recognize. And once you understand how much fuel is wasted when nothing is happening, it becomes even more surprising to realize that sometimes your engine is running, but not using all of its own capacity. 8. Your engine doesn't always work the way you think it does. Most drivers picture the engine as a fixed system where all components operate continuously while the car is running. In reality, modern engines are designed to adjust their internal behavior depending on driving conditions. At steady speeds, especially on highways, full engine power is not required to maintain motion. Instead of continuing to operate all cylinders, the system temporarily shuts down some of them, reducing fuel consumption while maintaining smooth performance. This process happens automatically and transitions so smoothly that the driver rarely notices it. The engine constantly evaluates load and adjusts its operation accordingly, switching between full and partial activity as needed. This reduces internal energy demand and improves overall efficiency without requiring any input from the driver. What makes this system effective is that it operates entirely in the background. You do not activate it and you do not control it. It simply responds to conditions in real time. This challenges the idea that the engine is always working at full capacity. Instead, it adapts continuously to avoid unnecessary fuel use. And once you realize your car can adjust itself without your involvement, it becomes more interesting to look at how it responds to your inputs directly. 7. The way your car responds to you determines fuel use. Eco mode is often misunderstood because drivers focus on how it feels rather than what it actually does. Instead of limiting engine power directly, the system changes how your input is translated into output. When you press the accelerator, the response becomes more controlled, preventing sudden spikes in fuel consumption that occur during aggressive acceleration. It also adjusts transmission behavior, encouraging earlier gear shifts and keeping engine speed within an efficient range. The goal is not to slow the car down, but to reduce waste caused by inconsistent driving patterns. Many drivers disable this mode because it feels slightly less responsive, but that difference is exactly what improves efficiency over time. I once drove a car where eco mode was always turned off because the owner believed it reduced performance. After testing it over several days, the driving experience remained smooth, but fuel usage improved noticeably. The system was not limiting the car. It was removing unnecessary fuel consumption. And once you begin to see how your inputs are being adjusted automatically, it becomes clear that your car is not just reacting, it is guiding your behavior in subtle ways. 6. Your car is already showing you the most efficient way to drive. Many drivers overlook one of the simplest efficiency tools available in their vehicle, the gear shift indicator. It appears as a small suggestion on the dashboard, often ignored because it seems unimportant. In reality, it is based on real-time calculations of engine efficiency. The system monitors load, speed, and engine behavior to determine the most efficient moment to shift gears. When drivers delay shifting, the engine operates at higher RPM levels than necessary, increasing fuel consumption without improving performance. Following the indicator allows the engine to stay within an optimal range where fuel use is minimized. What makes this system effective is that it adapts continuously to current driving conditions rather than providing fixed instructions. It responds to how the car is being used in real time. I once tested this by ignoring the indicator for several days and then following it consistently. The difference was not in speed, but in how smooth the engine felt, and that translated into better efficiency. That's when it becomes clear. Fuel isn't just burned when you accelerate, it's wasted when you kill momentum too quickly. And once you start preserving movement, everything changes. If this is making sense, subscribe. It gets better. Because what comes next is something most drivers ignore completely, but it's affecting your fuel every single day. 5. The way you slow down decides how much fuel you waste. Most drivers only think about fuel when they press the accelerator, but the more important moment is when they stop pressing it. The second you lift your foot, your car enters a different phase where momentum either gets used efficiently or completely wasted. When you brake late and aggressively, all the energy you just built up disappears instantly as heat. But when you lift early and let the car slow down naturally, you extend that momentum, reducing the need for constant reacceleration. That alone lowers how often the engine needs to work hard again. I once drove with someone who had a habit of accelerating hard between short gaps in traffic, only to brake sharply a few seconds later. The car felt active, but the movement was inefficient. On the same route a few days later, we tried something different, lifting off earlier, allowing the car to roll into slowdowns instead of attacking them. The difference wasn't dramatic in speed, but it completely changed how the drive felt. It became smoother, more controlled, and noticeably less demanding on the engine. That's when it becomes clear. Fuel isn't just burned when you accelerate, it's wasted when you kill momentum too quickly. And once you start preserving movement instead of constantly rebuilding it, something as basic as your tires begins to matter even more than you expect. 4. Your tires can make the engine work harder without you realizing. There's a constant resistance between your car and the road, and most drivers never think about how much it affects fuel consumption. Tire pressure plays a major role in this. When tires are underinflated, more of the rubber stays in contact with the road, increasing friction. That friction doesn't just slow the car slightly, it forces the engine to work harder to maintain the same speed. The problem is, this change is gradual and doesn't feel obvious while driving. I remember helping someone who was convinced their car had developed a fuel efficiency problem. They had already checked the engine, replaced filters, and even changed fuel stations, but nothing improved. When we finally checked the tires, all 4 were below the recommended pressure. After correcting it, the improvement wasn't instant in one drive, but within a few days, the difference became noticeable. The car felt lighter, smoother, and less strained during acceleration. Nothing mechanical had changed, just the resistance against the road. That's what makes this so easy to overlook. It doesn't feel like a problem, but it continuously affects performance. And once everything under the car is working correctly, the biggest difference comes from something you control directly: how consistently you drive. 3. Two drivers, same car. Completely different fuel usage. Give the same car to two different drivers, and you'll often get two completely different fuel consumption results. The difference isn't in the engine, it's in the pattern. One driver accelerates smoothly, anticipates traffic, and maintains steady speed. The other reacts late, accelerates sharply, and brakes frequently. Over a short distance, the difference may not seem significant, but over time, it adds up. I once compared this with a simple test using the same vehicle on the same route across 2 days. The first drive was aggressive, quick acceleration, late braking, constant adjustments. The second drive was controlled, gradual acceleration, early liftoffs, steady movement. The travel time difference was barely noticeable, but the fuel usage difference was clear enough to track. That's when the realization becomes unavoidable. Efficiency is not about driving slower, it's about driving consistently. The engine performs best when it isn't constantly forced to adjust. And once your driving becomes predictable and stable, the next level of efficiency comes from systems that remove human inconsistency entirely. 2. Some cars already know how to use zero fuel, even if only for moments. In certain driving conditions, especially at low speeds, some vehicles are capable of moving without using fuel at all. This is most visible in hybrid systems, where the engine shuts off and the car runs on stored electrical energy. The transition is quiet and almost unnoticeable, but the effect is significant. For those moments, fuel consumption drops to zero. I remember sitting in traffic in a hybrid where the engine would shut off every time the car slowed down enough. At first it felt strange, almost like something wasn't working. But after a while it became clear that the system was simply avoiding unnecessary fuel use. Even though not every car has full hybrid capability, the idea behind it exists in many modern systems, minimizing fuel use whenever possible. It proves something important. Fuel consumption is not constant, it's conditional. And once you understand that efficiency can reach zero under the right conditions, the final system takes that idea even further, by removing the biggest source of inefficiency completely. 1. Your car can drive more efficiently than you ever will. No matter how experienced a driver is, human behavior always includes small inconsistencies, slight delays in reaction, unnecessary throttle inputs, and constant speed adjustments. These variations may feel minor, but they add up over time. This is where advanced systems like adaptive cruise control change everything. Instead of reacting emotionally or inconsistently, the system maintains speed smoothly and adjusts automatically based on traffic conditions. It removes the sudden spikes in acceleration and braking that normally increase fuel consumption. I once experienced this on a long highway drive where traffic flow kept changing. Driving manually required constant attention and adjustment, but switching to adaptive cruise control created a completely different experience. The car maintained distance, adjusted speed gradually, and eliminated unnecessary input. The drive became smoother and the effort reduced significantly. That's when it becomes clear. Efficiency is not about trying harder, it's about removing unnecessary variation. And once you reach that point, you stop thinking about saving fuel actively, and start letting the car handle it naturally. Fuel saving isn't about doing more, it's about doing things correctly. Subscribe, because most drivers never understand their car at this level.